and good evening. Welcome to the Deltahead stream. I am James Howell, and tonight we're doing part 4 of Resident Evil 4 Remake. So, let's, 1 second, let me make sure that everything works as it should. That's good. Where's the game? There's the game. Very good, very good. So, pull this closer. My high-tech setup of, my streaming equipment and 3 TV trays. Definitely, we're definitely on the way to some of the highest budget stream production that you will ever have seen. So, yeah, good week for media. I bought the first evening Space Hamlet. It's good to see you. It's appropriate that you would be the first one in chat because I think you in particular would be interested in the fact that I bought my first CD in maybe a decade. Evening Dan, it's good to see you. Having lost the internet briefly for a period of an afternoon and realizing that all of my music is locked into accounts that I can only access with an internet connection, realized that the mass evacuation of physical possessions, that media that I could digitally archive, that I'm now reversing that because I would like to have access to these things independent of a middleman. And so this is it's called A Specimen Surf by the Centellas. They're a Latin American Mexican surf rock band, and it has 6 tracks on it. I think this is their first release, and they are on Spotify should you want to listen to their stuff. It stands out among surf music. I've been listening to a lot of Mexican, specifically surf music, and it stands out for its general. It has a weight to it, like a lot of Mexican surf to it, which I really like. And it also has it is expressive in a way that sort of leverages the genre without strictly being the genre, and so I recommend it. I recommend it. Oh, nifty! Yeah, I have a few vinyls myself, and I need to get a better, a more up to date record player. I have a very old suitcase. A very old suitcase record player with a mono speaker, so everything sounds old-timey through it, which is particularly interesting because you can get some soundtracks from what's the name of that company that does vinyl versions of game soundtracks. Anyway, you can get that sort of stuff and you can play it through that, and it manages to sound old-timey. So that's a neat thing. Evening Margin, it's good to see you again. Been a while, but yeah, no, I'm going to be building that up again, and also, picked this up. This is apparently a new Blu-ray release. This is Baron Munchausen, Terry Gilliam's Baron Munchausen, which I saw last on VHS back in 1997, I think. So this is a great thing to come back to, and so that's going to be fun. Rental-wise, I've got Santo contra los Jinetes de Terror, which is this right here. Yep, there we go. And also Melville's, let's see if I can read this, Le Duxime Soufflé? I'm sorry, this is Jean-Pierre Melville, right? Like French noir master. And I think it's the English translation of the title is The Second Breath. It's 144 minutes of noir and heist goodness. I'm very excited by that. And rounding things out, book-wise, I have read almost all of this that I care to, which is not to say that it's bad. It's just there are just a few essays that sort of missed the mark for me in terms of what interests me. This is Steel Chair to the Head. This is essays on the pleasure and pain of professional wrestling. And I want to say probably about 7/8 of this book is solid. The 1/8 that I'm sort of like toward is a little too theory, a little too literary theory embedded, which I burned out on early in grad school and in undergrad. So I tend to, when I see certain literary theory buzzwords, my brain just says, "Oh, this person has one thing to say, and I've probably read it a million times." Because a lot of criticism that's embedded in theory is usually just about reiterating the theory, rather than providing any enlightenment toward the work itself, and I dislike that greatly, especially as a creator myself, because I don't want, I think the stuff that I create has more value than validating a theory that an abstract philosophical theory that a particular literary critic is fond of. I would like for its merits to extend beyond that, so I tend not to read those essays. Most of this, though, is solid. There is one in here in particular, which is what drew my attention to this volume, by let's see, a Mexican cultural commentator of the 20th century. Let's see. Carlos Monsiváis, which is this right here, if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. That guy right there is, let's see, The Hour of the Mask as protagonist, El Santo versus the skeptics on the subject of myth. Now that is some criticism I'm behind. It's more than Joseph Campbell's Hero with a Thousand Faces archetypal criticism. It is mystic and aesthetic, and is uses a poetic launch toward insight, which it's the sort of thing that reads like an original piece of writing, not a derived piece of writing about an original work. And that is very dear to my heart. It also has an essay in there by Heather Levi, who is one of the premier anthropologists on Lucha Libre. Her book about Lucha Libre itself is excellent, worth reading, and so that's in there. And it also, this calls to mind, a lot of these essays were written back in the 90s. Some of this stuff, I think this was published in 2005, so as a collection, a lot of this stuff was written back in the 90s, so a lot of it is referencing WWF before it became WWE. And it, just reading about all of that, brings to mind exactly how uninterested I am in most of it. And this is just the thing about something like pro wrestling, right? You find like your thing that interests you if you have something that you care about enough to invest in, and the rest of it is just sort of there on the periphery. It's like so many things right now, right? It's just there's too much volume to consume meaningfully, and yeah, a lot of talent out there, a lot of great actors, a lot of great athletes, but just the vibe isn't for me. Yeah, Lucha it is. And launching off that, I've read something in a very completely different direction. Cory Doctorow's Red Team Blues. It's a Martin Hench novel. Martin Hench is a forensic accountant, I believe it is. And it is embedded in Silicon Valley, Cory Doctorow's own public intellectual pursuits, and has it is insight with a perspective, not insight with an agenda, and that makes all the world of difference for a piece of literary art. It's intending to show me something, not convince me of something, which again, I think that's where literary art shines best. But with all that said, we can hop into Resident Evil 4, which is trying to convey, to scare the crap out of me, because I beat Verdugo on Professional without any kind of power-ups or any kind of additional help, and that was a slog, and like in a good way, the sort of thing where I'm just sort of like biting down on the challenge, like, all right, dare me to quit. Oh yeah, let me unmute that. Let's go back to this. Excuse me. Oh man, yeah, Margin, I'm in the same boat with you on that, to be honest. The shooting gallery in the original, I loved. I chomped down on that, and I did not let go until I had every single bottle cap. there seems to be something a little more. There seems to be a less attainable challenge to this shooting gallery that exceeds my interest, right? So the difficulty of the originals was like, I was like, okay, I can rise to meet this challenge, and that's going to satisfy me. This one, I'm like, okay, this is harder than I care about, and so I've run into a similar problem. Excuse me. Yeah, Dan, Dr. O, this is my first Dr. O book. I have read his blogs, and I have followed him on social media for a while now, and I am always very enthusiastic about what I read of his. But this will be the first time I myself have jumped in. Let me pull chat up here on the iPad so I can follow. Let's get that out of the way. Evening, Swimmy. It's good to see you. Yeah, funnily enough, I actually missed your... Wait, no. Okay, sorry. There we go. Okay, sorry, chat's catching up. Yeah, evening, Swimmy. It's good to see you. Yeah, Dr. O is interesting in a way that is productive for my own thought. So even if there are insights that he leverages to sort of move his novel along, then I'm like, well, I don't know if that's true. I don't need to think it's true because it's interesting, and that's what works for me from that. Yeah, Margin, I have on my... Let's see, is it this game? Is it this save file that I'm getting all the treasures on? Pretty sure we're down here at the bottom. No, I think this is it. Pardon me. But yeah, I'm trying to get all the treasures, and I would love to 100% this game. I think right before Big Cheese. What's my loadout look like? Yeah, I got that golden chicken egg. Out of all the visuals on this, that golden chicken egg looks the most like, even though it is clearly a 3D object here with reflections and everything, this golden egg just looks the most like an old photoshopped object that looks just a little more realistic than it should, given the context that you find it in, with a little bit of artifacting around the edges. Nothing else looks that way. It's just particular to this one thing. It's very strange. So let's see. Switching my brain from my professional save. That's good. We're in good shape. Yeah, Swimmy. It's one of those things that I was fiddling around with, and just discovered. Oh no! You did the Chainsaw Sisters entirely in the cabin. That's that is frankly, that's bragging rights right there for accomplishing it. Let's see. Bonk. I love Leon with the eye patch. It fits the aesthetics so well. It looks like it should be part of his character model. Very big boss.
Pointless struggling. Abandon your body to the will of our God. You're a shitty missionary. You know that.
Leon Kennedy, drawing on memories of solid youth group experiences.
Crush your enemies. Son of a bitch. Ashley, run!
Okay.
Hasta luego. God, I thank you for your gift.
Like that's some three kids in a trench coat level of mass conservation inside that giant jacket of his.
I should have known you were gods.
Ladder time. Take that. Take that. Got that. Cool. There we go.
Move quick, such a big bastard.
Oh, no, there we go. Get my buttons confused. Oh, I should have healed up that knife before this fight. Repaired. That's how you heal physical objects. Oh no, there goes my knife. Well, I gotta back up. You know, it's a combination of lower health. Like, this feels so much easier than the last fight I have, which obviously is unprofessional. Which is why, and this is New Game Plus on Hardcore. But there's also the knowledge, the strategy that you accrue, you know, as you get to know how to play this better. So you don't have to spend as much time figuring out. When you do something wrong, you have an idea what it is. That would be something wrong. Ha ha ha! That's right. Whew. That's a claw in my face.
Hey, what?
Let's, there we go.
Where you swinging those things?
Oh, I did not get an evade prompt. Yeah, it's great. Like, as soon as I make any kind of observation about a fight being easier than I expected, it will immediately go south. For very simple reasons. There we go, that's the groove. Oh, hey, ladder's got iframes. No, Leon, don't do that at all. See, can I knock him on the ground with a stun grenade? Is that the thing I can do in this game? Haha! I consistently don't want to jump off there. Yet I do. There we go. Catching up on chat. Swimmy, I don't think I've ever heard that. I missed this my first time through, and I love that it is here.
Give my regards to your god.
Even if it doesn't have the quite the Resident Evil puzzle-solving purpose that it did in the original. Mendez fight. So that was what just happened is interesting because I have never had that much trouble with him, and in part because there were certain parts of his phase that just did not trigger back to back like that. In my experiences with Mendez, he leaned really heavily into beam throwing, so I actually got pretty good at dodging those, despite the a couple of them I took on the chin there, and his up close attacks, I would always just strafe back and forth, and this time I found myself accidentally jumping down into the ground, getting stuck in some reload animations, and also expecting there to be an evade prompt, which doesn't show up as much on those. Which is weird, because there were a couple of attacks that gave evade prompts, but then there were others which seemed like they should have, but they didn't. Anyway, I'm not blaming the game for having done badly. I'm just noticing the inconsistency in my own performance, and am interested in that. Yes, Dan, hubris angers the gaming god. That is true. There we go. That bullet's got some sass. That barrel's got some sass. And yeah, I feel pretty comfortable being a little sloppy on this run. So if I were unprofessional, I would probably go back and redo that fight so I could have more resources going into this next section, but I am okay with that. I do like going along with how well they paid attention to the original game. Having this wrecked truck here, after you beat Mendez and you use the false eye to open the door, and you're on the final stretch toward the castle, which is what we are here, a truck drives headlong towards you, and you have to snipe the driver, and then he crashes off into the side. And it's nice that there's this little nod to that, like that. Hey, you remember that thing? Well, we did too. No, you're not going to play through it again, and I like that.
What's going on?
Well, at least we don't have to worry about being followed. Come on.
A lot of this game is about sort of like taking a lot of the sort of like premises of yes, this college Robert. A lot of the taking RE4, the original, as a premise and saying, okay, but what if it was like consistently scary instead of just the village? And the way they sort of interpret consistently scary is in a lot of ways consistently serious, except when Leon is being sort of himbo Leon. And the part of what they've done with that is like they've made Ashley a sort of more rounded, sympathetic character. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, because obviously all of them are more well-rounded, sympathetic characters. But, like, she was just like a gameplay facet in the original. So in my mind, I'm just like, okay, I've got to drop Ashley off in a dumpster. This is not a person. This is, escort material. And now it's like an actual character. And it sort of... It messes with my sense of who this character is, because I've played RE4 so many times, and I'm used to thinking of Ashley more as an obstacle rather than somebody to empathize with.
I got it. Guess we better get going.
Evening, Roundelay. It's good to see you. Excuse me. Yeah, they took I think they took several of the trick rooms out. The very Resident Evil-y trick rooms that, like, why would somebody build this room for this exact moment, this singular purpose, to have spikes descending with parasites on the ground?
I've got some new items in stock. Come take a look.
So it,
Welcome. I got something new for you.
Alright, still saving up for that infinite rocket launcher.
What you see is what I've got.
Whew, that's gonna be a long hike, buddy. Exclusive upgrade tickets.
We like our herbs, we do. Heal a man, kill a man, they do it all.
He's so chatty. Okay, do I have anything?
Good as new.
So that is powered up.
Crossing your T's, dotting your I's. That's the way to be.
Yeah. Nope, gonna save on it.
Get yourself killed now.
The merchant's chattiness comes. It appears in my games most comically with his "gun rhymes with fun for a reason, stranger," because I will just be like passing a door to one of his shops, and he'll just shout that at me in passing. It's like, okay, I know, gun rhymes with fun for a reason.
Crossbows, huh? Something tells me they don't want to be friends.
They do, Roundelay, and yes, no, I agree. There's having Ashley be two-dimensional and escort fodder would just be it would land very differently now than it did in 2005, right? So not for good reason that her character's improved. Not for anyway, good reason that her character's improved. However, the negatives in that statement work out. Yeah, the characters all have, I wouldn't say made more serious, but they have more weight to them. Even Salazar is given a little more gravitas. So
Things just keep getting better.
they for Salazar they play up the ostracization, the ostracism. Let's see. No! How am I missing all those cultists? That's interesting, Margin. I haven't noticed that as much, probably because honestly, I don't hear a whole lot of ambient noise in the game when I'm playing like on front of a TV without headphones on, just because the sound output on that is not nearly as good as this. I actually hear it much more in headphones. Somebody's trying to get that straw into that Capri Sun pretty hard. Come on, I made a dent inside the foil. I know the tip on the straw is dull, but come on, you're made to do this. Get in there. I want my fruit punch. Let's see. It's weird that these Las Plagas, like, they have that sort of, ichor and viscera burst when you kill them, but the parasite model remains, as opposed to the other ones where they just sort of fester out and leave a gaping hole. Yeah, that's how they're. If the whole infecting the president's daughter and sending her back to the first world doesn't work, they're just gonna put Las Plagas in Fruit Punch, Capri Suns, and that's how they're gonna take over. And yeah, Space Hamlet. I think that yeah, it's interesting. So like just having a straight up damsel in distress is not something that really works in a modern game, and it would feel very out of place. Even though this game actually leans into it at several points with comments about Leon being sometimes literally a knight in shining armor. So I think what they do with Ashley is actually quite good. Like, you see her grow from somebody who feels like she has to be taken care of and that she's a burden because of her privilege and her role, to somebody who can be a partner to Leon and who can contribute to their success. And I think that that's a good arc. That's a good arc for her, and it's done well. So it's not so much that like it's something that shouldn't be done. It's just having. I guess what I'm saying is like having played the original games, having. Ooh, that's right in my scope. Having played the original games so often, it is jarring to see a realized character where I'm used to mentally scanning for basically like a gameplay device. Let's see. Oh my god, that's some whiffing right there. Like, it's amazing. I shot at him several times when he was fully exposed and missed like 2/3 of my shots. And then shot at him while he was behind a stone pillar and killed him in the arm. Yes, I agree. Wow, this is a mess. There's my fish. And I like to have flow. There we go. That feels good. So, you know, it can kind of flow comes in from here, goes over there. That more than categorization is what I look for in a well-arranged briefcase. Yeah, Swimmy, the models that they use here are interesting because, like, if you look at the Striker, I'm not sure if it's called Striker in this, but the barrel magazine shotgun, it's sort of cut in half where it intersects with the case, and the numbers are objects too. But like if you look at the 13 up there near the handgun rounds, the numbers have visual priority over objects that, like from here, right? It looks like the 13 is on the same level as the base of the handgun rounds, but then you turn it over here and it can superimpose on top. Same with the 60 on these guys right here. So yeah, it's an interesting visual effect. Evening, Mahafoon. It's good to see you again. It's been a while. Yeah, I think Ashley's, so it's tricky because like there needs to be some feedback if you're going to make the game the way that they've made this game. There needs to be some interpersonal feedback, some sort of exchange between them for that relationship to make sense. At the same time, like, yeah, it's like being able to do it in a way that, I was hoping to land that on here, in a way that feels right, is tricky, and I think it also varies from audience to audience. I actually never noticed it on my playthrough, so it's interesting to hear that from y'all.
I guess this is their idea of a warm welcome.
Leave me alone.
There we go.
You hurt?
No, I'm okay.
I remember it was fairly, it was understated a bit in the original. I remember, I don't remember verbal congratulations, but I do remember being on the tram. There we go. Being on the tram ride, and when you were over the shoulder aiming and shooting guys, Ashley would sort of have like a fist pump whenever you landed a shot. And that always felt like a cool nod.
Stay back!
Nope. Oh, no way! I didn't know you could shoot the cannon release. There should be someone over here too, right? Come on, can I hit that with my handgun? I don't want to use my rifle. Alright, I'm gonna use a rifle. Man, they are not kidding when they give you a wide reticle within which any of your shots can fall. Mahafun, it doesn't address that originally. I'm sorry, explicitly. They do make a much more deliberate. They do make a much bigger point of highlighting Leon's role as a professional and Ashley's role as the escortee. So within that character dynamic, it makes more sense because I mean she would not know how to use one. And at the end, like again, like the way it sort of grows her character is at the end she expresses interest in basically knowing how to do what Leon does and not being forever damsel-y. There we go. Yeah, from a design standpoint, a lot of it. I mean, it's it's feedback, right? It's how do you, the game, let the player know that you saw that they did something good, and there are a number of different ways to do that. And in something that's character driven, that's often a really good source for that. Playing very fast and loose with the hitboxes there. Wind up killing my charge. Oh.
Ashley, you alright?
Yeah, thanks.
Goodbye.
Firing again.
Awesome.
There you go. That's case in point.
Alright. That went well.
A little warning next time.
Little warning, I shot it like 5 times. Now, Mahafun, I'm not saying that it's could not work. I'm just saying they make efforts to try to cover that and sort of embed that in Ashley's story arc. So just acknowledging that I think they acknowledge that that friction exists and that they tried to address it. I think, however successfully or unsuccessfully.
Look at this place. I mean, it's old, but
Oh, interesting. So you mean like the sparkle sound effect, like when I'm destroying the medallions?
Welcome. Got some rare things on sale, thank you.
Aw. Mendez false eye.
A deal well struck.
Let's see. I'm going to save
Come back anytime.
everything I can for those crowns, which land you a lot of money.
A most warm welcome to my castle.
Oh right, there actually is a point where Ashley gets mind controlled by Las Plagas and stabs Leon with his knife.
Me? Oh, please, call me Ramon and allow me to get straight to the point. I would like you to hand the burden over to me.
It is interesting. There is something
Chance, Ramon.
fairly gruesome
Just with me.
and
Mr.
darkly comical about
Mr.
Leon pilfering the personal effects of these bosses after killing them. I think, obviously, we took Mendez's eye, so that's his false eye. And when we beat Salazar, the lip, I don't think they call it lipstick because it's not a stick, but the lip balm that he uses to paint his lips, you can pick that up off his body as well and sell it. So yeah, just like being able to take your enemy's cosmetic effects and sell them is a beat I did not expect.
Do make sure our guest feels at home now that he has chosen death.
Oh no, I was just using the cannon to destroy small medallions to make a wandering merchant happy.
Leon,
Just stay close. Present for you.
And yeah.
give me a warning next time.
Whoa, hi. This guy actually has quite a hike to take Ashley. It actually sometimes feels a little safer just to let him do it.
Okay.
Like, I think in order to actually... Is there somebody else out here? No. In order to actually kidnap Ashley, they have to go through these double doors and then down several flights of stairs. Very easy to recover her. Alright, Margin. It's awesome seeing you. Hope you have a good night. There we go. on just stealing everything he can. I have to think that in this scenario, there's got to be a sort of like insult to injury aspect of
I need you to open it from the other side.
visibly being a petty thief to those who are actively trying to kill you. Like stealing things actively while you are running away.
It's open.
There's something very comical about that. And I think in another game with another atmosphere it could have been played up to great effect. Alright, Magnum ammo.
Looks like we can continue on this way.
Be careful.
This is a great place to put this item, as though that were the natural consequence of, or an outcome of somebody being beheaded. Wait, is this? No, it's a small key. Oh no, did I miss a treasure in the village?
What was that? Do they keep animals down here or something?
I did find a way to kind of stun lock this guy in the hallway. Let me see if I can do it again. The light is lost. I wonder if part of Leon's Special Forces training in this world was learning how not to scream when surprise confronted by something like this. Now, my first time through here, this was the first time I noticed these, Oh, God! There we go. Okay. Yeah, let's just heal up all the way. Oh. That's... Okay, I need to bring it out before I can actually hit it. This should do much more damage now. Let's do that. Let's do that. There we go. Evening, Bismuth. It's good to see you again. Yeah, no, with those sorts of wild swings, I don't think that any amount of ducking and crouching would really help Ashley out. Actually, Dan, that might be the case. I wonder at what point in a Resident Evil protagonist career you do get that immunity to jump scares. And is it a too cool for jump scares or too traumatized, or are these truly any different from each other? Like, well, I'm emotionally damaged enough from having been attacked by unearthly monstrosities over the course of my entire law enforcement career. Versus I'm just chill. I love bolt thrower mines. That, on all of my playthroughs, has wound up being an MVP. Oh, wait. These legs. There we go. That's much more comfortable.
Nothing. You were right about the animals, though.
In the, after the Novistador section, the ballroom, where you have to fight all the bugs for the first time, there are two of the Garradors. Two Garradors in a single room that you have to fight, which was just brutal. I was just getting my ass kicked over and over by them. And then I just crafted a ton of bolts and a ton of mines, which I maxed out as soon as possible. Threw a ton of them over there, and they actually work really well for the Garradors, because in addition to the bolt thrower being a stealth weapon, the explosions are sort of like decoys for them, and will send them in another direction. And so you can just fire them all around. Also, because they spin around so much, you have a higher likelihood of the explosion actually happening at their weak point.
Look at all of this.
Yes, damn, that's right. Leon has an image to maintain. And bird time. There we are. It's a very elaborate place to keep your sword.
It's just a replica. Only a couple of uses.
Just in case you forget what they're used for. Yeah. Think I remember this right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Leon secretly blames himself. If he had just gone into another career, then maybe I don't know, maybe he would have brought calamity to that one as well. No, 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 no! That shout of frustration. I don't think it actually does any real damage to him. I think he just gets annoyed. It is interesting to me how often this game encourages you to attack animals. I feel like that's something that most games don't do now. But I always wonder if there was like if that line was the result of testers getting really confused and turned around about where the heck they are now. So, throwing them a bone there.
think about trying this yourself.
Me? As if.
I like that they kept the chandelier swinging, and that they underlined how ridiculous that is.
Leon! Over here!
Thanks.
Leon, are you kidding me? Jumping across chandeliers, seriously, who does that?
What are you, my mother?
Don't leave me!
No. There's a treasure underneath me that I would like to get. I like how they kept these upside down statues, made them a little more realistically sized, and basically put more of them in the environment. There is instead of a
Salutations, Mr. Kennedy. Are you ready to hand over the girl?
Not this guy again.
I'm taking delivery of preparing some entertainment for you. Without further ado, the gallant knight protects the princess fair.
Ashley is not impressed. But yeah, instead of so in the original with those like very giant upside down statues that had this sort of you know remains of a lost magnificent civilization vibe to them because of their size and their style. And having reduced the size to them and putting them in these things, it almost has like a medieval torture victim vibe to it. That in conjunction with the look of peace and sanctity that the statues have, those smash up against each other, those impressions, in a way that's very interesting and does create a cool atmosphere. This fascinates me. I want to know what analog this has in real life, if any, because this is just like candles, candles, candles. Come by this podium that you can't access to behold all of our candles, and I would like to know if there is an analog for this and why it looks so cool. Is this where I just came from? Ah, hello. Oh, right, that's the,
It's locked.
that's the, minecart. Or not minecart, but the, transport cart. The goo boss's bed. Do you mean the thing where you dip your head in for the candle wax head effect?
Be careful.
That really weird, cool thing?
Stick close.
Okay.
See, who else is out and about here early on? Any more snipers? Oh, okay. I kind of remember that. I would like to go back and play Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3, I know it, in some ways, has a... is not viewed favorably
The entertainment.
by diehards. But it is the one Souls game that I had the best experience with. No, 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 no. I want to make things blow up with this.
Let me go! Put me down! Stop!
I can make tracks.
Watch out!
Ashley!
Oh no, this is gonna go badly. Alright!
You hurt?
Oh man. Okay. So, let's do this. I just like throw the snake at them and freak them out.
No!
Ashley!
Let's get moving there. No! Turn camera around.
Body armor's not looking great.
Oh, there we go.
Spread out!
Oh god.
Hang on.
Run, run, run.
Out of the way!
Alright. Ah.
Next.
Managed to shoot the quip right after it left his mouth. That would be fun, Mahafun. Who's muttering? Yeah, I was actually talking about our Dark Souls, our Demon Souls stream to somebody earlier today, in fact, and saying that as I was playing through the, playing through some of the remake, I realized that having somebody who I was playing with, like as a specific game partner, made that feel more like the Demon Souls experience than even having like an active player base. So that's interesting. There you go.
Damn. I knew it.
Let's see. I don't think he can reach up here, can he? No, no he can't. There we go. That's the other one. So I feel like there are 3 of them whose heads become those horrible things, and I want to pop as many of them as possible so I can just hit them all with a single flash grenade. Okay. Pardon me. Alright, did I make... No, I didn't make a flash grenade. I probably should have made a flash grenade. Well, that's how this is gonna work. Yes, investigate that noise. That rules. Cool. Now where is... I hope he's not, like, right down here. No, good.
With me!
Okay.
There you are. Alright. Good. No, I need to steal the thing first. Space Hamlet, do you mean summons with randos because of the game's scope? Like, the player base has reached... the player base has plateaued, basically, about a year after its release. And so now, because of the size of it, it's harder to find people in a given area? Is that what you mean? I liked finding areas that appeared to be versions of different versions of Dark Souls 1's environments
Should do the trick.
in 3. Seeing familiar places after a great deal of time has passed, or before a great deal of time has passed, has always been something that interests me in sequels. Oh, for God's sake.
Leon, watch out!
One down. Oh, they keep coming.
Ah! Oh, that's crunchy. Oh, I tried. Oh, what a great moment to pause. I want to jump back into to Elden Ring. What? There we go. Am I gonna get my gun out in time? There we go. What just hit me in the head? I mean, an arrow, clearly. But from where? Okay. Anyway, yeah, I want to get back into Elden Ring. Jesus! She, like, powered through a bullet to the knee just to punch me. That is determination. Alright, Ashley, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Who is shooting? There you are. Oh. Very, very velociraptor-y. Get you to aim at one, and then attack you from another.
Ashley! You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Washing pole, is that a katana?
We're not out of the
Gotcha.
woods yet.
Now, washing pole, I don't remember the name of the samurai, but there was a legendary Ronin who called his sword the washing pole because it resembled, you know, a long pole that you would use to do your washing with. So yeah, very long sword. Oh, he wasn't a Ronin? I thought he was. Ah, yes, thank you. I just saw your message there. Yes, you've got it covered better than I do. I really like the name of that weapon. I like the understatement of it all. I think that's very cool. Alright, Dan, have a good night. It's good to see you. As always. Let me know if you pick up Doctoro. I would love to get your take on it as somebody who's who would be likewise encountering him in print for the first time.
Over here.
Got it.
You gonna be okay?
Yeah, I got this.
I'll cover you. Don't stop. All right.
So even with Ashley not around, we still got a congratulations from Leon about Leon. Oh, I didn't know they dropped out of there. Leon, master of hand-to-hand combat there. Actually just walking through a spray of blood. Ah, crap, you're not all dead. Ah, that's painful. Need some eggs. Throw a grenade.
Leon, help! Please stop!
There. Oh, change weapons faster. There we go. How are you still alive?
They keep coming.
Oh my god. I don't know how much of that is me or the reticle living up to its promise that I need to let it settle before I can aim accurately.
Okay, get back here.
Whew. Oh wait, right, crap. The freebie. Alright, if you grab Ashley, I can get a free stab on you. Or I can just do that. Awesome.
Leon!
Got cocky for a sec.
Alright, well, that drained most of my resources. Oh, hey. Swimming. I just noticed. I think these are our nods to the flame room, because I believe that this design is what the flame statues had. Remember we talked a bit at one point about how the flame room would have just been too silly for what they were trying to do, and if that is in fact the callback there, I think that is a neat place to situate it. Alright, climb over.
Come on.
Okay.
No, I did not know about the swallow return move, Mahafun. I mainly know that character from the three Musashi movies that
You okay?
crap, what's his name?
I think so.
That,
Instead of worrying about her.
why am I not remembering his name? Mifune. That Mifune, was in the Samurai Trilogy. And he was a rival.
Temperance, child.
He was a rival of Mahafune, not Mahafune, of Mifune's Musashi character in that one. You mean the PSX one? A sort of quasi-platformy RPG?
Shit.
Man, I never played that one myself. Watched my brother play it. It was it's funny. That was during an interim when I wasn't playing games. So I basically went from NES to PSX, and it took Resident Evil 2 on PSX to like really hook me on games again.
But I've just been separated from Baby Eagle.
And Brave Fencer Musashi was one I was watching, and I was like, oh man,
Do you read me?
can't believe they made games 3D. This looks hideous.
Damn it. So much for that.
Yeah, the 50s ones. They're quite good. They're a lot of fun to watch. It's neat to see Musashi's growth into maturity through them. I mean, it's Mifune, right? So we're already talking quality. That's it. There we go. Just have a whole case of fish and eggs. Yeah, let's put you there. Put you here. Alright, this is the fish district. Well, I think it also speaks to kind of where I was at the time, because I was later to the party on 3D games than many. It took a little while for me to warm up to it, in fact. And again, Resident Evil 2, realizing that I could be actually scared by a game, and that the 3D visuals were a huge component of that. That's what sold me on it. Oh.
Don't mind if I do.
I myself am not a fan of gritty realism in the main. It is done well in many instances, but it's not the thing that I go for.
Welcome. I got something new for you.
Even the sort of like gritty realism crime movies of Kinji Fukasaku, the violence and the fights in that are so they're so desperate and inelegant. They're such desperate, inelegant street fights that they almost reach a pitch of being parody of just how graceless actual brawls are, and so it has more style in that direction, where it can be actually read in a couple of different ways, that makes it more interesting than gritty realism to me. There we go.
Good luck to you, stranger.
Let's fix that. And let's save our money. Let's see, what does this take?
Oh, my back is killing me. You can't go wrong with that. Good instinct, stranger. Well then, what can I pleasantly
let's put together some treasures here. Oh, interesting. Let's see. See. Oh wow, the duo bonus is actually better. So let's trio bonus. Okay. I can roll with it. I'm gonna save those blue ones for something else. Yeah, that's good.
Trap, welcome. I'll buy almost anything.
I like the almost. I want to know where his line is drawn.
Perfect. You're a real professional. Come back anytime.
Yeah, something that interests me about medieval studies in general, Japanese, European, and otherwise, is the point where in order to really get into the material, you have to understand that the modern standards of morality by which actions were judged virtuous or not, it's just a different ballgame there. So behaviors that are viewed as heroic and attitudes toward actions as to whether or not they're heroic or not. It's like we've found versions of those stories that make sense for us, but sort of like Grimm's fairy tales, right? People are always there's this sort of people are sort of famously shocked by how bleak they can be, and that's an instance where we have found something in the original story that can still speak to us, and we've isolated that and magnified it. But then looking at the source material itself calls attention to just exactly how different the worldview was. And that is one thing about medieval studies that I like quite a lot. Alright, Space Hamlet, have a good night. Always good to see you. And Swimmy, that is the right read on it, in fact.
Sorry to interrupt.
Wow, this is a great choke point. Ah, no! I wanted my QTE. You did? Yes, you're dead. Good. Oh, that would be my kidney. Huh, that's interesting. I didn't know that, Mahafun. Wow, what a circumstance. What a situation for your fame to be built on. are still on. Oh, man. Oh, I gotta heal up, gotta heal up, gotta heal up. Okay, cool. Where are you going, buddy?
Next.
You coming upstairs, or? One hit somebody with this damn thing. Ah!
Give me a break already.
I've been reading a lot of complaints about RE4 Remake as a game that is very difficult to do a no-damage run-through because of many of the more random aspects of the game, like whether or not an enemy is going to attack you and how that's going to, like, the damage it's going to do.
Keep coming.
And it's interesting to me because my gut on that would be just to adjust your expectations and say, well, this game is not conducive to a no damage run, so why don't we make the speedrun contest be a low damage run? Who's doing the heavy breathing there? There you are. Oh. It did not hit you. And so, seeing that erupt is really interesting. It is a shame that there are folks who do love this game, and I'm grateful that they do. I think that that's it's an awesome game. It should be loved. You know, video games, arguing video games on the internet. The difficulty with which people can accept opinions, negative opinions about their favorite games, continues to be a part of the way that we talk about games. Oh, really? It has an achievement for that. Did the enemies in the original teleport? I mean, like the big thing, one of the really big things that they emphasized in for the OG RE4 was that enemies will surround you, they'll use tactics, they'll be strategic, and that you should watch out for that. And so clearly, besides the fact that games generally have adopted that approach now, this game in particular would have to lean into that. Did they teleport?
You can stop right there.
Did they teleport enemies in the original one, or did they surround you using other means?
Wouldn't make me use this. Would you?
Well, after 6
Oh, I
years,
see.
that is one hell of a greeting, Ada.
You don't seem surprised. Interesting.
Try using knives next time. Better for close encounters.
Not a bad move. Very smooth.
So who are you working for this time?
Oh, Leon. You know I don't work in town.
It's always been weird to me that Ada is this sort of like heartbreak for Leon
She's lost
when
that
just the overall
You walk away now. And who
in the
knows?
scope of their careers, their times overlapping is very
Maybe I might get
small.
that greeting you were looking for.
You think I'm gonna give up that easy?
Right. How about we continue this discussion another time?
Does finishing the game without using a healing item,
Person I thought I'd run into.
is that locked to a particular difficulty, or is that just for whatever difficulty you want? And yeah, Mahfoon, I believe they cast her character with an actress who matches Ada's background in the way that we do now, and which is a very good development in how we cast voices. Yeah, it seems like they made strides to make all aspects of her character fit who they're narrating her character to be. Where is it? Oh, right. Right. Where is... Oh, it's around here somewhere. There it is. Nope. That's just a background object that happens to look like a copy of what I'm looking for. There it is. Yeah, I can see the no healing one being very frustrating if you had to being very frustrating if you had to do it on a certain difficulty, which, like on professional, right, it doesn't autosave. Stands to reason. It's alright. Oh, right. I always get these mixed up.
That should do it.
Yeah.
All right. Need to find Ashley.
The question that's interesting to me is how much of the discontent is driven by people feeling like they can't. If you think of yourself as an extraordinarily good game player. Oh, I never noticed this before. An extraordinarily good game player, and it's just part of your thing that you can do this on all games, then not being able to do that sort of, in some way, kind of attacks your sense of who you are. Versus the game having some design qualities that make it actually impossible to complete. So that's sort of, those are the two poles that I'm thinking about. So yeah, so this is neat. So the little skedaddler, I'm going to call it, Plagas, I'm guessing it burst out of this guy's head, because I sure didn't do that. Unless Ada did it, which is also interesting. It will be interesting when Separate Ways comes in if this is accounted for. I think it would be too, but I mean, I guess I'm thinking of like folks who, you know, streamers, speedrunners, folks whose bread and butter is, you know, is sort of created by being good at games as performers. Having a game with design elements that interfere with your ability to perform in a way that you have branded yourself seems like it could be a problem.
Christ.
I swear I hit you.
One down.
And so yeah, and this is like coming like I you know, love being good at games, and will choose certain games just to get really, really good at. RE4, the original, was one of them. RE4 Remake is one that I'm comfortable being a bit sloppy at.
Why not treat yourself, mate?
Let's see.
Welcome. Well then, what can I do you for? Thank you.
Yes, I agree. I think that that is a correct
That's
observation.
good work, if I do say so myself. Good as new.
Let's see, what time is it?
Why not try your hand at a new combat anytime?
Yeah. I'll save here, but we have time to make it through this El Gigante section. I think there were very few games where...
Oh, dear Mr. Kennedy, you appear to have lost your companion.
She said meeting you once was enough.
How convenient, as I was growing tired of the modern Dutch. Let us play this game of ours in true Salazar fashion.
Like, so, like, with Metal Gear and the like, I have a very clear sort of, like, personal sense memory of what it is like to be extremely good at a game, so well that I can teach it to somebody else and have them also be good at the game. So I know what that feels like, and it feels very good, but that's kind of like a, for me, that's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing that you find, right?
Oh, you were expecting me.
I can see that swimming. Well, I mean, also,
Take a look. Something's bound to catch your eye.
it's also, you know, built after a game where that sort of perfect play might be possible, which is, you know, 2005 era Shinji Mikami, like God Hand and the like, just known for making here we go. Walk into that, please. Thank you. You know, he makes very tightly designed games. pretty sure there's another one of those things up here. There. Gross. There you go. I was skeptical about the knife's attack speed being the boost for an exclusive on Leon's knife, but once I started using it at that speed and then went back to professional and tried it at regular speed, I was like, oh, it is very hard to go back. Mahafun, it's I asked Swimmy about this in the previous stream, and I think you are one of the other people who would be interested in this as an avid game player to the point of being an historian. Did you ever play the PlayStation 2 Echo Knight, the one that was set in outer space? Because I have that. I managed to find that at a pretty good deal, and am thinking about streaming it after this one. Was wondering if that is something that you have played, and if that would be of interest to you.
Okay, I think I see how this works.
Leon's 2 steps ahead of the player on this one. Because even trying to remember it, I misunderstood it. Do I have a knife? I would love to have some bolts. Okay. Seriously? That didn't hit anybody? No! I'm supposed to feel clever for finding that. I protest. The slow burn of a early 2000s From Software adventure game, non-combat adventure game, would definitely be a change of pace after this. Alright, I can circle back around through there. torch. Oh, is that you? Is that a death rattle or an existing enemy? Nope, just a death rattle. Oh, that way. On the note of being extremely good at a game, I feel like there's something changed in how we think about what being good at a game means, because
You guys are really starting to become a giant pain in my ass.
before streamers and before esports and the like, it was possible to think of yourself as good at a game because you were, you know, maybe like the kid in the neighborhood who was best at something. And now I think like we all have a sense of what being good at a game means that is so unrealistically beyond what most of us will be able to accomplish as non-professionals that that it changes things. Oh crap! I thought I had more shotgun shells than I do. Okay. My God, die.
One down.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know if I would describe one as being better over the other, but please die. Cool. But it is a change. There we go. Are you dead? Yes, you're dead. Good. Oh, this might be bad timing. Alright, cool, made it out of that.
Yes. Kid, hope it works.
Nope, not this way. Ah! Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that I don't know how to phrase this exactly. I think that there is this effect of it that you can, God, how to put this? I think if we are oversaturated with the sense that there is always somebody much better than us out there, maybe even a million somebodies, it can be discouraging to feel like you actually are accomplishing something that is, you know, significant. And I think that's kind of what I'm wondering. Oh crap! I'm wondering if that is lost by it, because I think that, you know, again, like having access to so much expertise, out there, and seeing that so many people are very good at things that you care about and would like to be good at, might make some people feel discouraged in a way that would not have been, well, I think would have been less likely before we had access to so much expertise. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not like assigning a value judgment to it, but just sort of making the observation. And the other side of it is that folks who, you know, are excellent at something, and who previously would have just been extraordinarily good at it in isolation, now have the opportunity to really be recognized for being excellent at it. Yeah, fighting games, I think, are a really good example of that.
Sorry, I've had my fill of you guys.
All right. Oh, I have a kitty cat trying to dig her way into my room. Yeah, short stuff. I will be with you shortly.
Ashley, where are you?
Yeah, just steal some stuff from Salazar. That'll take my mind off it. I wonder why that door is locked from this side, because as a player, I don't think I can ever approach it from the other direction where I need it to be locked to prevent, you know, screwing up progression. So I'm wondering if it's a feature of yeah, I'm wondering if that's supposed to be something that is attached to separate ways, or if it's an oversight, or what the thinking there is.
Something else.
She must have been terrifying. I know.
You too?
Here, excuse me one second. I want to stop this cat from destroying my carpet further.
But you can't run. We gotta keep moving forward. We will beat this. Together.
Little one.
You can. Just give me a heads up. I'll stab you next time, okay?
I don't disagree. I think for me, I've got two. I think I've got access to both sides of that experience. One, when I was a kid, I would take the NES and hook it up to take the NES and hook it up to the VCR, and would record myself playing through Ninja Gaiden 1 and being able to beat it without using a continue. And then that tape circulated among my friends, and that was pretty cool. We could it was cool to like see them get together and watch it. And I know that if I were to take that playthrough now, as good as that is, it would still pale in comparison to a lot of folks who have just spent time like mastering that game, and as part of a not just as individuals but as a community. And that's one thing that 10-year-old me didn't have access to, was a community of players who played at the same skill level and had different styles, so they can make different observations and then collaborate on optimal strategies. Which, again, like if I had access to that community when I was a kid, would have been super into it. So there's no necessary virtue to the way things were. Compare that to, with a lot of the Metal Gear videos that I've done, the attention and crowd that can draw is much bigger than the group of kids that VHS circulated around, right? So being able to be very good at games and having that have social capital, and sort of seeing that social capital expand as access to other people's playing expands, is very interesting to me. Nonetheless, even though the whole notion of a local legend, I think, is still very I think there's value there, and you can never put a genie back in the bottle, so this is not something that I think video games can really capture as widely as they used to. So it's got to shift to some other field. But yeah, it is a part of streaming that interests me, because now I think a lot of people who think about being good at games and streaming, I think that's their frame of reference, and always has been. But yeah, so this is a good time to call it. I am going to watch Baron Munchausen and Swimmy. It's always great to talk to you, Mahafun and Bismuth, as well. I hope you all have a good night, and I will see you next week. Do more of this. Oh, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Good. Good night.